Hi everyone, thought I'd give you an update on my treatment so far, as it's been about a month I think since I made my last video. So I started the treatment with Disulfiram 29th of March I think, which was about a month and a half ago. So I was on a very low dose, and the idea was to build up over a period of time, a period of months, and then get to the target dose and hold it there for about 2 months I think, maybe 3. And then at that point we'd expect the Lyme disease infection to be cleared, or that's how it seems in a majority of patients anyway. So I was doing 25 milligrams every 3 days. I mean, that's how little it was. But after about a week and a half I developed tingling in both of my hands, and with Disulfiram one of the side effects is neuropathy. Now, for some reason, we don't know why yet, but for some reason in the Lyme population it seems to be quite a fair amount higher, the incidence of neuropathy in Lyme patients, than it is amongst other people who take the drug. We can only really speculate at this point as to why that might be, but it seems to be, current thinking is that because an actual symptom of Lyme disease is neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy. Now, that's a symptom that I get anyway. This is different. The peripheral neuropathy I got with Lyme disease was fleeting. It would come and go. Not with this. This was something that didn't go away. It was basically a constant tingling in my pinky finger and my ring fingers. And here as well, my palms became very, very skin sensitive, extremely so. But anyway, what we decided to do, I let my consultant know. We decided, for me, to move down to, I think it was every 4 days of dosing. Didn't really make a difference. And after about, I think, a week and a half of having the tingling, we said we'll stop completely the drug. And take a break for 3 weeks. We're at that 3-week point now. Unfortunately, the tingling hasn't gone away, so that's we're pretty sure it's a side effect of the drug. So now we're looking at sort of next steps. My priority right now is getting over this neuropathy. There have been other people who have got this. About 30% of the population of people who take this drug for their Lyme disease have got neuropathy. For a fair chunk of those, they take, I'm not going to go too much into the science of it, but Disulfiram is actually a chelator of copper. So it basically binds to copper in your stomach, and it can pull it out the stomach lining and into your myelin sheath, basically the peripheral nerves, and irritate them. Now, I did everything I could to avoid that by putting them in acid-resistant capsules that didn't break up in the stomach. I took zinc, which basically competes with copper in the stomach anyway. I took a B complex, vitamin B complex, which is good for nerves. And yeah, I still have got the tingling, not as bad as some, but it hasn't gone away. For quite a lot of people who get the tingling, they take the zinc, or they take a B complex or vitamin B1 and it seems to go away, or they put their medication in acid-resistant capsules and it seems to go away. I did all of these from day one, so we're not really sure what's causing mine. What we are doing though is quite a few people for whom this neuropathy didn't go away. They basically ended up getting the drug from compounded at what's called a compounding pharmacy. And we've got a few of those in the UK, there's quite a few more in America. But basically, it's for people who tend to get side effects from certain drugs. They formulate the drug in a certain way which makes it more tolerable for the individual. So in this way, for Disulfiram, what they've done, in America at least, is they make the drug itself fat soluble in a sort of fat lipid formula, which basically means it breaks down slower. So it goes into your intestines, I think quite near to your colon is where it actually starts breaking up. So it doesn't break down the stomach at all, and it actually takes a bit more pressure. It's not as highly metabolized in the liver as the normal drug in its natural form, or in an acid-resistant capsule. I know this is getting very complicated, but I want to give everyone the full picture. Now, for that, people who seem to take that one, for quite a few of them, it resolves their neuropathy, which is really interesting, and we don't know the exact mechanism behind why that happens, but it could be something to do with the fact that there's less of a burden on the liver metabolising this drug. So I think time will tell about that, and the researchers are looking into that right now. But for me right now, the priority is, as I said, improving or getting over this neuropathy, and that might take a bit of time. So I'm not on treatment at the moment. I've spoken with my consultant. My symptoms, other than that, improved a heck of a lot, and I felt probably the best I've felt in many years. So it was clearly working. It's just unfortunate that I got this side effect. So I think will probably put me back on antibiotics. That's the way it's looking right now. Just an antibiotic to keep on top of things, because if I'm not on any treatment at all, my symptoms do really get very severe, and I get seizures, and I get what's called myoclonic jerks in my neck. I get vertigo. It's really quite unpleasant. I get severe fatigue. My pain gets very bad in my joints, my muscles. So yeah, we want to keep on top of that basically. So I'm probably going to be put back on an antibiotic until things calm down a bit, and then I think we might try this compounding pharmacy route, just because it seems to yield the least level of side effects, but is also a very effective way of sort of taking the drug. The drug's still effective. So I think that's probably going to be the next step for us. We want to do everything we can for me to tolerate this drug, because if it's not the complete answer, from what I've seen in my own experience of it, but also seeing other people's experience of it, it's a big chunk of the answer. I think the researchers are doing great work. The clinical trials are ongoing. They themselves are working on their own formula, apart from compounded pharmacies who do it, which is going to be a sort of fat-soluble, slow-release form of the drug, which I think is probably the best way to minimise side effects and make it tolerable for a vast majority of patients. So I think that's all quite exciting. Other than that, I think there is another drug they did find that is not, I don't think it's quite as effective as Disulfiram, but it's pretty near. It's a near second. That drug is called aslacillin. It's a penicillin-based antibiotic, but it's not on the market right now, at least not in the West. So I believe the researchers have got a patent for it now, and they're developing it. Also, it's only available in IV where it is available, which is in China, I think. So they're formulating their own oral tablet form of the drug. They're going to do clinical trials on that, but I mean, you know, we could be looking at maybe about 3 years on that one, and who knows, that might have side effects too. So yeah, I mean, not quite what I've hoped after a month and a half, but it doesn't mean it's the end. It just means, you know, we've got some feedback effectively, and it's about probably looking at waiting this out, letting the neuropathy calm down, doing what nerve repair I can. B vitamins are great for that. Also, just waiting, you know, on the compounding pharmacy in London to do this slow release formulation, which a lot of people seem to get on very well with. At least people who've got neuropathy get on very well with it. So I think that's probably the next step for us in terms of the Disulfiram. But yeah, I maintain that I think this probably is the answer, at least a massive majority of the answer. So we are very keen to get me tolerating this and get me through the treatment protocol, basically. So yeah, not the most positive update, I'm afraid, but you know, we're still going. I hope everyone's taking care of themselves in lockdown, and you're all staying safe. And yeah, I'll try and make another one of these in about a month, and we'll sort of see where I'm at. But thanks for all your support so far. If anyone watching this has any tips on reducing sort of neuropathy or nerve pain or anything like that, do please put a comment in the comments box below. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.